Today, I want to talk about what is earnest deposit, earnest money, and how does it work? So, this always gets misconstrued with what is a deposit, right? Your down payment money. And it can be and it cannot be. So, let's go ahead and clarify it. What a earnest money deposit is money held in a third party account for it's going to be held as liquidated damages for the seller if the buyer doesn't perform. Basically, that's going to be the shortest way for me to explain it. So there's going to be a third party deposit, which is usually in the title company or an attorney. Some real estate brokerages do. I don't do that. I don't hold people's money. And that third party is going to hold the money and they will release it or add it into the deposit, into the down payment at the end, right? So at closing, they'll wire it, they'll send the confirmation. And typically when you send an offer, you will either submit the earnest money deposit right then and there, or within 3 days. Typically, it's within 3 days, because then after that, you're going to start your inspection contingency right away. And what you want to know are the 3 ways that you can actually lose your earnest money deposit and how to protect yourself. Typically, earnest money deposit should be about 2% of the purchase price of the home. Although on the really high homes, it might vary a little bit. And it's to show, imagine if you're the seller and you're getting a lot of offers, and one person says, "Hey, I'm really serious. I'm not going to back out. We're going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to put $40,000 on the line just to make sure you choose my offer." It's much more appealing than someone who just puts $5,000 and a bunch of contingencies in there. So that way you can kind of go into the seller's role and you can see. So earnest monies are there to safeguard. So the 3 ways that you can lose it, the main way is you don't perform your duties, right? So your buyer obligations that you follow on the contract, that's the most important. But there's 3 ways, which is the inspection period. You're going to have a period of time that you're going to inspect the home, and you're going to make sure this is a home that you intended to put an offer in. So that everything that was disclosed ahead of time was exactly what you thought at the time of your offer, and then you can move forward. This can be negotiated or not negotiated, but after that inspection period, that earnest deposit becomes hard, and you as a buyer will not receive it for the purposes of inspection, right? So if you cancel because of inspection after the inspection contingency, you're going to lose that money. But there's then the second one, which is the appraisal contingency. When you go through this, as long as you've added an appraisal contingency and the third party appraiser justifies the value of your home, then you can renegotiate, adjust, meet in the middle, or completely cancel and be able to get it back. After the contingency time, same thing. And the last one is the financing contingency. And sometimes this will also go with the associations. You want to make sure that for those of you who are going into associations, you put an association rider contingency in there as well, that you need to be approved. And if not, your earnest money comes back. And for the financing contingency, you have a certain amount of time. And then if after that period, you still can't close for whatever reason, you're going to lose that deposit. So it's very important that you know this and the effective date. So as soon as you get a contract signed, write down that effective date. And that's going to be the last date of the last initial, the last signature, whatever was the last main thing that executed that contract. That's going to be the date. And then that way you can really plan out everything that's in your contract. So that's it for this video. If you'd like to sign up for my weekly newsletter, go ahead and sign up below. There's a little link there. You'll get updates of what's going on in the area. Sometimes I add a comic, sometimes I add other things. And yeah, would love to see you at the next video.